Today I'm joined by LJ Rich, who's going to be keynoting at the upcoming Business Analysis Conference Europe in September. Great to have you with me, LJ.
Oh, thanks for having me.
No problem. So obviously you're going to be delivering your keynote session, but first I'd like to give you to give everybody kind of a quick insight into kind of your background and what's brought you up to this point.
Sure, I've been working with AI for probably a million years compared to a lot of people, so 2017, which isn't that long in terms of years, but in terms of where AI has developed, it's an absolute age. So I'm kind of considered a veteran in the area of AI and music, machine learning, and Gen AI and music, to be a bit more specific.
So your session is going to be what is called Real or Unreal, how Gen AI works and what you need to know to make it work for you.
Yeah.
Kind of what inspired your journey into combining AI with music and your music background, and how has that experience as a musician, and a broadcaster really influenced your approach to exploring the machine learning world?
For me, everything is always about connecting people with other people. Technology just happens to be the lever by which we connect our ideas with solutions or people's problems with how they approach the answer to that. And for me, it was, how can I make more music? How can I make this beautiful symphony in my head come out? And when I was 11 or 12 and I had a scholarship to the Royal College of Music, I learned electronic music for the first time. I was allowed in a music studio, and it blew my mind. All these things you could do with technology. So that's when my love of technology and music came in. And so when I was lucky enough to be interacting with some of the first people to use Gen AI to create music, that was just, wow, this is a tool I can use to perhaps be even more creative. And a lot of musicians will use technology as a means to music. And there's some technologists who love music so much they use technology to understand a bit more about creativity. So it's just this ideal and beautiful place where all these ideas that have come out of creativity and technology then go on to change the world, which is why I give talks about it.
Good. Could you highlight a particular case where businesses have effectively leveraged AI to solve these real world problems, and kind of what key takeaways can our attendees expect to gain from these kind of use cases and insights?
Well, first of all, we're in a world where people are putting AI on everything from dishwashers to, I don't know, chocolate bars. It's like this magic spell. People go, oh, it's got AI in it, therefore it's going to be fine. Whereas the reality is people have been working with AI for a very long time in different forms. If you've interacted, for example, with a chatbot online, it's very likely that a machine has been involved in working out where your query goes. So I think where businesses have effectively leveraged AI to solve real world problems, we're actually looking more at AI being used to enhance the humans that are there, not replace them. And this can be seen anything from diagnostics of aircraft engines, for example, and AI would be able to at least give a good indication of whether a part has been made correctly, but it still requires a human to look through and just confirm by visual and by touch whether something is perfect or close enough within those parameters for it to pass the test. So I think in my work with the United Nations, a lot of the organisations that are using AI effectively are in doing things for good. So everything from search and rescue, drones, to underwater surveillance, to mapping for climate change. A lot of these things are utilising AI. Even in health, for example, using AI to find different protein folding, AlphaFold, for example, with Google, or even being able to identify whether something is cancerous or not by analysing results from sonography. So there are so many areas where all AI is very, very fast calculating. If you think about it like that, it's probably easier. And then you can start understanding, well, how is this going to affect my business? The question is, what do you want to automate? And also, what would help, for example, a teacher? Is a teacher going to get help by having lesson plans planned for them that they can check? Yes. But what AI could also help with is marking 500 papers at once, so 500 people get an education instead of 50 with that same teacher. No one's losing a job. It's just one teacher is being able to help many more people. But then what AI can do is look at an answer that could be one or the other answer. And say a person has decided to change their mind halfway through marking 500 papers. And so question 25 is now slightly different in its criteria, then AI can go back and fix all the other question 25s so that the marks are equal, for example.
Okay.
So I don't know if this is just me warbling on and this is a bit too long for a 2.5 minute segment, but I'm going to talk a lot about critical thinking, how to work out if something is real or not, and what we can do about it, and where Gen AI can help us. Instead of replacing humans, it's enhancing us. So people visiting my session, they're going to get a quiz on what's real and what isn't. We're going to talk about critical thinking and how to apply that to AI generated products. We're going to look at different ways that AI is being used for audio, video, text, and how people can use it themselves, where they can go if they want to learn a bit more about making things. So it's almost like a primer for generative AI that you can literally go off and play with later on.
Great stuff. No, I think that sounds really good. I mean, obviously, you talk in kind of your session synopsis you provided around, making the Beatles sing "Call Me Maybe" and making Beethoven, rock out in heavy metal. Your innovative use of AI is fascinating. Can you kind of tell us a bit about maybe a specific project where AI has enhanced your creative process? And how do you see such technology kind of shaping the future of artistic expression?
Oh, well, thank you for the compliments, first of all. Yes, I mean, it's fascinating because the way that AI thinks about music is very different to how humans think about music. Machines don't have that same sense of storytelling that us people do. And so it's easier to work out whether something is real or AI generated with a certain understanding of what rules have been used to create that generative AI. I think a specific project recently, I was commissioned to create some music for the United Nations AI for Good conference to be played in the stage area. And I created this collection of songs in different styles where 5-6 years ago, I would have to follow some really painful non-musical coding that I taught myself just so that I could get this thing to make music. So the Beatles singing "Call Me Maybe" took 10 hours of processing time for about a minute's worth of low resolution music. And then a few months ago, I was able to type a sentence or two into a machine that would then create 2 minutes of very passable music based on lyrics that are human generated that sounded so catchy that people really enjoyed singing along to them. So there were 5 songs all about sustainability and humans and machines working together, and then one song I put in for fun called "Cats Say Meow in the Rain, Meow 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 Together Forever," which went down an absolute storm. And just the fact that they didn't sound AI generated at first listen, that was what I was aiming for. So that's a specific project. The creative process, I guess the creative process was enhanced by the rapidity, the ability to do 100 songs and choose the best one and have it fully orchestrated, fully produced, ready to go. It's a very different way of composing and so much more accessible. Somebody who isn't musical, I know you're musical, but someone who isn't musical, they've got the opportunity to have the symphony in their head come out. And I love that.
Wow, that's a very unique way of putting that. I like that. So that's good. It sounds like it's going to be a really good session. I'm really looking forward to it, and I know there are others who are already excited. So, I mean, thanks for this insight. It's been brilliant, and I look forward to seeing you at the conference.
Oh, I look forward to seeing you all there too, and you.